So yeah, that's basically what the Lekagolo are. Now I'm gonna go over, and sorry, there's so much lore in this. I'm trying to just get it all over with, so that at the end of like, later on, we can just focus on gameplay. So I'm gonna kind of give an overview of how each of the races joined the Covenant. So the Ungoi, they're always really weak, but one thing that made them exceptionally weak is that their planet is surrounded by a methane atmosphere, and of course.
Wait a moment. I'm going to access the Covenant BattleNet and locate an override code to open a door. Working on it.
I'd like to see you crack up 128,000
Okay. So they have a methane atmosphere which is exceptionally cold. I mean, it's a very cold atmosphere, and the Ungoi breed like rabbits. They breed so much that the only way for them to survive in their tribal system, which was basically when they were found in the Covenant, or when the Covenant found them, is for them to commit mass genocide of all the oldest people in their tribe. Alright, that's an example of sidestepping a hunter. That's the best thing for you to do, just sidestep and keep firing, or if you can, melee, like that. You want to make sure to hit the orange spots, because that's actually what the Lekagolo are. That's what the Lekagolo are exposed. Of course, in this game, it's not so well rendered. And I'm sorry for switching topics so quick. I kind of just wanted to talk about that when we have live hunters here. Okay. Believe you opened? Nope, you didn't.
Got it. The door
Now
is
you're open.
Everyone should
Okay.
move through now.
So again,
Can't
mass
guarantee that it won't lock again when it closes.
genocide by the grunts whenever they to keep their population going. There's also something that they termed the Black Death, which is basically freezing to death or frostbite. And so it was because their winters were so cold with all the methane that people just freeze to death. There just was not enough food, and these are examples of cloaked units. They're going to be stalking around. To find them, look for a strange ripple in the air like that. They'll come. They have no shields.
There's no sense going in with anything less than full strength.
Cortana to Foehammer. We need additional support troops. We're going to open the shuttle bay door again, move in, and drop off reserve troops on my signal.
I copy, Cortana. Echo 419 standing by for your signal.
Well, I kind of fell down because I didn't want to die, so I'll just retrace my steps real quick. So that's the Ungoi. The elites I already told you about. They did eventually I didn't mention this, but they did eventually use foreigner technology to save themselves. So what ended up happening is they came to a stalemate, and they kind of just agreed, okay, hey, let's work together. We both have this technology now. There's no reason for this war to continue. Alright, the Kigyar, also known as the Jackals. Their society is built heavily around piracy. Basically of each other, of other people, and that's the only way they could defend themselves against the Covenant. Whereas the Ungoi were founded in basically a tribal state, or maybe a little more advanced than that.
Cortana to
Maybe.
Echo 419. The shuttle bay door is open. You can start your approach.
Roger. Echo 419 inbound.
So what ended up happening with the Ungoi, I'm just going to continue on this for another moment. They actually made it to the industrial age, but mass pollution, I mean so bad, collapsed their planets, like, everything. Like, just their environment, and basically sent them back to the tribal stage, and that's where the Covenant found them. The Kigyar made it to basically where, more advanced than us, basically like star system colonies. You know, colonizing other planets in your star system. Let's continue. Is this even the right place? Nope, I have to go across. Alright, so that's basically what the Kigyar were, and of course they just relied on piracy and raids and all those things to guard against the Covenant, which of course didn't work. They were absorbed from the Covenant as well, obviously, since we fight them. And now, who else can I talk about? There he is. Lost him for a minute. I am close to death. I don't know what happened. I think I got hit by some needlers. That was some needler ammo. Whew, that was close. Glad I'm still alive. Basically, I like to coin this area as the only thing keeping me alive is my shields. Alright.
Hold your fire. Out of the way, amigo!
You get out of the way. I'm a Spartan. Get out of my way.
I've lost contact.
There, drops he. Okay. Now, there are a couple other races that are not mentioned in this game, as well as the prophets aren't mentioned. Aren't even mentioned in this game. But I want to go over two more called the Jirohane or Jirohani. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. And the Engineers. I don't actually remember the Engineer's native name. I know all of them but the Engineer, weirdly enough. But basically, the Engineers are giant, bulbous, gaseous creatures that it's debated as to whether or not they're slaves of the Covenant or not. Because they're very non-aggressive, so it can be taken that they were conquered because they were non-aggressive and used as slaves, or it can be taken that since they're non-aggressive, they were willing to use their talents to the betterment of the Covenant. However, there are some things that indicate that they are slaves. Like, sometimes the Covenant will use them as suicide bombers, and sometimes they'll use them just for, like, being cannon fodder, you know? But what are Engineers? Well, basically, they are gaseous. They kind of look like a creature that is basically mini balloons puffed up with several tentacles. I don't know how the heck these guys got here. Anyway, those are Marines, by the way. That's why I said it. So yeah, like puffed up balloons. They're purple in color. I kind of messed this up, but basically when grunts are asleep, which is shown by them being curled up in a ball, you can melee them and they will not wake up. Nor will their screams when you kill them wake or frighten anybody. So again, it's debated on whether or not Engineers are slaves or not. Okay, so Engineers have an amazing ability with technology, and they basically can take apart and reassemble something and make it better than it was before. You know, okay, that guy. In my opinion, that guy is the most scary Covenant in this game. Basically, he is gold armor, which is the second to highest armor, I believe. I think the highest is black. In this game, I know. Actually, no, I don't. Last time I did this, I got lost. And I mean, let me tell you, I was angry at myself for getting lost. Okay. So, that's basically what the Engineers do. They heal... No, they don't heal. Sorry, I'm thinking about Halo Wars. They repair Covenant technology, and they basically improve Covenant technology. Also, they're very good at learning about the technical ability of a race, because, I mean, they just take apart a human, like, weapon and reassemble it, and they just instantly know, okay, this is how it works. They're primitive, they're advanced, you know, things like that. So let's hope I'm going the right way. And now the Jirohane, also known as Brutes. Their name is very aptly given. They are very thuggish, brutish creatures. They're basically broken in. When the Covenant found them, they were in the Industrial Age, basically, or not the Industrial Age. It's the space age that we're in now, but kind of like the 1940s. They had just rediscovered flight and the radio, and by rediscovered I mean this: the Jirohane society is built upon a pack nature. That's what I wanted, with the lowest packs being basically like cheap labor. Slaves, things like that. Yes, I found the right way. Yes. And so that's like the lowest pack, and then the higher up you go, like the more administrative, the better it is. So, and by the way, you're looking for Captain Keys, and when the way you know you found them is that there will be Covenant guarding the entire area. There is an empty area that will hold basically supplies and a bunch of carcasses. There we are. But that's not necessarily important, so I'm not gonna show it. Okay, so the Brutes basically ward themselves back into the previous stages. I'm not gonna release it until I'm done talking, because this should be all I want to talk about for the rest of the time, at least on canon. So that's basically what the Brutes were, but at the very higher up levels, it was basically like tyrants who controlled like a bunch of different lower tribes and packs, and just totally. So now staring at me. And just totally enslaved everyone and destroyed each other. Now, the Brutes are very primitive. They use weapons such as spikers, which fire large spikes, basically. Or primitive shotguns, whereas the Covenant all use plasma-based technology. Yeah, so that's all the lore, and now we're done with it. I believe there's going to be a cutscene. Cutscene.
I knew there was one on board.
Coming here was reckless. You two know better than this. Thanks. Marines, lock and load your weapons. Let's be ready to move.
Okay, yes, sir.
While the Covenant had us locked up in here, I overheard the guards talking about this ring world. They call it Halo.
One moment, sir. Accessing the Covenant BattleNet. According to the data in their networks, the ring has some kind of deep religious significance. If I'm analyzing this correctly, they believe that Halo is some kind of weapon, one with vast, unimaginable power.
That's true. The Covenant kept saying that whoever controls Halo controls the fate of the universe.
Now I see. I have intercepted a number of messages about a Covenant search team scouting for a control room. I thought they were looking for the bridge of a cruiser that I damaged during the battle above the ring. But they must be looking for Halo's control room.
That's bad news. If Halo is a weapon, and the Covenant gain control of it, they'll use it against us and wipe out the entire human race. Chief, Cortana, I have a new mission for you. We need to beat the Covenant to Halo's control room. Marines, let's move!
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Chief, you have the point.
We should head back to the shuttle bay and call for evac.
Now, actually, the first time playing through this, I accidentally skipped this cutscene. You may be like, how do you accidentally skip a cutscene? Well, be me. Basically be an idiot, and that's how you do it. I'm talking really loud. I'm sorry. I did not mean to be. Okay. So from here on, we're fighting our way back to the shuttle bay. There should be Covenant in our way, or every step of the way. Basically, the only way you can lose this is if you die, or if the Captain Keyes dies, and they will lock onto Captain Keyes if they have the chance to. Alright, didn't take too much damage there.
Thank God it's you.
Now, Captain Keyes does come armed with a needler. Now, there is an interesting point I want to make about Captain Keyes. He actually met. Here's the optional area, by the way. I think I'll stock up on health. He actually met John Spartan 117, us, when we were a small child. Now, how did this happen? He worked with Dr. Halsey during the time when she was first putting together the Spartan program. By the way, that's controls that you go up to there, and it'll give you an option to turn off all the brig energy areas. Alright, I have full grenades as well. He actually met us. Now, how old were we? We were 6 years old. That's how old the Spartans were when they were inducted into the Spartan program. Now, I believe he was just a lieutenant at the time. I think he was. I may be wrong on that. And by the way, grenades are very good against in-place jackals, especially when there are Marines firing on them, because guess what? They hold their ground against Marines. Actually, highly prefer the jackals in this game because they actually knew how to hold their ground. Or in recent games, I feel like they just run away too much. So yeah, Captain Keyes was there. He actually helped Dr. Halsey to interview several different candidates, but he was actually most impressed by us. Now, the reason why is what they would do is they would go into public schools that they had found contained gifted students, or gifted people, genetically, of course. This is all about genetics at this point. It's all about, without doing any without going in.
Cortana to Echo 419. We have the captain and need extraction on the double.
Negative, Cortana. I've been engaged by Covenant air patrols, and I'm having a tough time shaking them. You'll be better off finding your own ride. Sorry.
Acknowledged, Foehammer. Cortana out.
Air support is cut off, Captain. We need to hold here until she can move in.
Oh man, we're trapped in here. We're screwed. We're screwed, man.
Stow the belly-aching, soldier. Remember, you're a leatherneck. Cortana, if you and the Chief can get us into one of those Covenant dropships, I can fly us out of here.
Yes, Captain. There's a Covenant dropship still docked.
We saw it, actually. Alright, let's do this. Now, just to finish up my little rant about Captain Keyes. Basically, what he... That's an example of Captain Keyes dying.
Without the captain, the Covenant...
Whatever. Alright. There's that guy. That guy. Alright.
Cortana to Echo 419.
Sure, we have to listen to all this again.
Captain and need extraction on the double.
Negative,
I'm actually going to talk over this one, so I'm sorry if it annoys any of you, but you guys have already heard this, so that's why my voice comes out, because they're actually really loud.
Acknowledged, Foehammer.
Gosh darn it,
Cortana
they're
out.
gonna be loud. I'm gonna cut ahead.